We're going to record this session, and this will be available for other people to view after the session. But today we have Randy with us, who's going to share about China. And you can save your questions for the end. He's going to share a little bit, and then after we can have some time for Q&A. So thank you for joining us. We'll let Randy take it away.
Okay. Hey everybody. My name is Juan, but I go by Randy. I was born and raised in China, so I guess I have some rights to speak of the country that I know of. Not definitely like 100% accurate, but I'm gonna try my best to share the country that I know of. Um, so, uh, so on the left part of this PowerPoint, you can see that's the national flag of China. We call it like 5-star red national flag, and China has a very long history. It's a very historical country. So we have over 3,500 years of written history. A lot of different dynasties. If I'm correct, I personally have a family history book, which means if I'm right, I'm the 16th generation of that carries my last name. So I'm kind of proud of it. But I'm not sure how accurate that book is. Uh, that shows you how long like the history is in China, and we have almost 1.4 billion people living in China. That's like the largest populated country in the world. I guess number 2 is India, and number 3 is United States. Number 4 is Indonesia. Um, and the third thing I'm gonna touch on is the politics. Unfortunately, we have one party system in China. It's the CPC, Communist Party of China. And a lot of my American friends have asked me questions about the party system, how it works. Actually, we have a president or the chairman. He's the leader of the party, but we also have a prime minister. He's the leader of the state council, which is the leader of the government. The CPC leader, President Xi, he's also the leader of the Chinese military. Um, so we also have a People's Representative Council every year. So basically, there are about 2,000 representatives from everywhere in China from different industries that represent their areas and their regions to vote on certain issues. Um, to be honest, I don't know exactly how it works because I never if I'm allowed to vote for anything, but that's the system we're having right now. Um, so this is a map of China, and uh, so this can you see my mouse right now? So this part this that's where I'm from. There's a city there called Xuzhou, which has about 6 million people in that city. It's a medium-sized city, but it's still got 6 million people. I know it's a lot of people, but it's still not even like one of the top 10 cities in China. The capital of China is, of course, Beijing. Is in the northern part of China, and the second largest city, I would guess, is Shanghai, right there. That's the economic capital of China. And third largest city would be Guangzhou. It's in the southern China. It's very close to Hong Kong. So I've been to Beijing. The first time I was there was back in 2008 for the Olympic Games, Summer Olympic Games, and that was also my first time I ever took a high-speed train. Um, China is you draw a line from a diagonal line from here to here, roughly, and on the right part of this map, that's where over 90% of the people live in China. So the western part is kind of undeveloped. The eastern part is where most of the agriculture and most products are produced, and that's where most people live. So my family, especially my dad, always says once he gets retired, he wants to drive an RV all the way from here to visit Tibet. So he said he doesn't want to fly to Tibet because the altitude is very high. You might have some reactions. So he says if I drive there like gradually, slowly, I might be able to adapt to the environment there. So yes, Tibet is a huge territory. It's part of it's one of the provinces in China, and we also have Xinjiang. That's where most of the Muslim peoples in China. Of course, they're having a religious issue with Xinjiang right now. Um, but the majority Chinese are a ethnically Han people, Han Han people. That's about 90% of the people in China. I myself is a Han people. So and I've known some other uh, uh, some of my friends. They are minorities, but it's really hard to tell by just by appearances unless they tell you they're from different parts, they're a minority. So that's the thing. I don't feel any difference from between me and them. So to me, they're just the people I share my country with. Um, the family culture in China, uh, provides them with a sense of identity and a strong network of support. And children are expected to obey their parents and honor the elders. Parents are devoted to their children's education and success. That's my family. That's my family. My parents are extremely careful about with my education, and the husband or the father is accepted to exhibit dominance and kindness to the wife in return of obedience and love, and offer guidance and protection to the children in return of respect and obedience. Um, Speak of gender equality, women are able to work and exercise authority in family matters. Um, so it really depends on different generation. I'm a millennial, so I think my generation, I don't really see a big different gender gap between males and females. I think maybe females of males right now because we have more guys in China than women. So yeah, uh, traditional foods. Uh, so here are some examples of the food that in China that are very common. Dumplings, hot pots, Chinese noodles, or steamed stuffed bun, moon cake, which is kind of it's a kind of a cake that, but specifically for a Mid-Autumn festival, and tofu. Food varies, depends on which part of China you're from. Um, are in favor of food, but in southern China, people might like sweeter food better there. Um, and different races have their well. So it covers so many you know different. Okay, I'm waiting on my. Okay, I was waiting for my internet. So it changes accordingly. And holidays in China, the first one would be the Spring Festival, which is also known as the Chinese New Year. It usually lands between mid-January and mid-February. That's the start of the new lunar year, and often people get 2 weeks off, and that's the time for family reunion, for good food, rat pockets, which is the money that the elder gives to the kids as a gift, a lot of fireworks, and we watch TV shows called Spring Festival Gala. That's probably the most popular show that different ages groups and different family watch during the Chinese New Year festival. And the second festival I want to mention about is the National Day. It's the first of every October. Um, if I'm right, we typically get one. That's the time a lot of people are traveling domestically or internationally. This year, I guess most people are traveling domestically. Uh, and every 5 or every 10 years, we would have a military parade on the Tiananmen Square. So that's the two biggest national holidays, in my opinion, in China. and dance. Uh, I found this picture online. I guess it was kind of like a historical reenactment. So it also changes with the ethnicity groups. They have their own customs. It's hard to say what typical, like what kind of dance or customs that can represent the whole country. Um, the dress for the majority Chinese would be the qipao and the Zhongshan suit. It's if I'm right, I think Lindsay, you talk about you wanted to get a cheap car, but you're so tall and it's hard to find your size in China. Am I right? Yeah, yeah. So
Yes, it
anyway,
was hard.
yeah, that gives the idea like what like typical modern Chinese like official dresses look like. Some common phrases in China. Uh, I think most people know this. The first one is "ni hao." It literally means "you well." It's a greeting gesture. You know, it's like bonjour or hello, just to greet people. The second one, which is very useful, is 美国人. Okay, that means American citizens or American people. Um, I guess Lindsay, when you were in China, people ask you all the time. Probably most of the time, people will ask you like, "Where are you from?" You know, you say, "I'm a 美国人," which means I'm an American. Um, the third one is probably the most useful out of the three. Is 听不懂, which means I do not understand. I do not understand. That's what a lot of my American friends who have lived in China, they told me this is the most useful phrase because a lot of times people speak too fast or talk about something they don't really know. So they will say, "Oh, 听不懂," which means I sorry, I don't understand. But that's okay. That's okay. Um, I miss the most about my country is the high-speed railway. Um, they they are building over 1,000 miles every year right now. So and it's very fast, very smooth. It's very inexpensive. For example, from where I live, if I want to travel to Beijing or Shanghai, it would cost me about 200, less than 300 RMB, which is about $40, $50. Um, it only took 3.5 hours to travel half the China from my hometown to Beijing. Uh, you occasionally would stop in some other big cities, but the stop wouldn't last. It would only stop there for like 2 minutes or 1 minute. Some people get off, some people get in. So then they keep moving. It's very fast. The speed is between 200 and 350 kilometers per hour, which is roughly about 120 to 220 miles per hour. So uh, I know it's quite different in America. In America, you have to drive or fly to a lot of different places. But with the high-speed rail system in China, people can travel much easier and faster. Um, so that's all I have to say about my country. If you have,
Thank you. I'm giving you applause over here.
thanks.
So thank you so much. Yeah, it's a really big country. And one of the things that Randy was mentioning is that I've been to China, so it's true. But we have our native Chinese student here. So does anyone have any questions for Randy about China or something you're curious about? One of the things I mentioned is that he can screen share and show pictures of things. So if you wanted to see what is a mooncake, he can show us what a mooncake looks like on Google.
Okay.
We could look at some food. Do you want to, you could stop screen share and then you could share some of the food items. Because one of the the things we found very interesting during this week is looking at food from different countries. A lot of us are foodies. Doreen said she's a foodie. Stephanie and I are for sure. Patty's saying she is as well. So looking at the food is always fun. So yeah, Randy, if you want to share, you could do some traditional foods in your province and then some other traditional foods maybe.
Okay.
Caitlin's like, yes, let's
Yeah.
see that food. The food photos. And while you were talking, I pulled out the red packets. So
Yeah.
we can talk about those too. I
Wow.
have
Yeah.
some.
So yeah, that's the thing I was talking about.
Yes.
It's the gift money. It's the gift money from the elders during Chinese New Year. So this is the moon cake. That's how I I don't know I don't know how to explain those. Like Lindsay, you need to help me out here. So
Okay.
would you say it's kind of a dessert? I don't know how to
It
describe
is kind of like a dessert. It's very heavy because
that.
it's thick. The inside is very thick. And what's in the inside? Red bean and other types of like almost flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And what other flavors? Taro. And there's an egg in there. There's an egg yolk in the middle too.
Yeah, this one, like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you eat one, you're like already full because they're small, but they're very dense.
yeah, I probably only have one during the festival because yeah, they're very sweet. I'm not a big
Mhm.
sweet tooth, so yeah.
We actually had the student make some last year for us during the Mid-Autumn Festival. That was really nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
Great wall. Doreen, for you. Let's check it out.
So I've been I've visited the Great Wall once. I guess one was 11 or 12. So um I don't know. It's very long and you really need to take a bus from the downtown of Beijing to visit the Great Wall. One was there was in the early morning, so I could see the clouds, the mist, and all the grains with surrounded with the wall. So it was beautiful. It was like this. Yeah. I would avoid like the rush holiday seasons, so it won't be that crowded. Uh, the almost every president of the United States, they like Reagan or Clinton, when they visited China, somehow the Chinese leaders always took them, always take them to the Great Wall. I guess it's kind of like national landmark. Yeah,
One of the 7 wonders of the world. So I
Nice.
think
yeah.
it's famous, very famous. So I have some questions here. Doreen, do you want to ask Randy?
Yes. What is your national dish?
National dish.
Yes.
Um, National dish. Do we have a national dish?
I don't know. Do you know if there's a national dish?
That's a good question. I've never thought about it, but you got me.
Like in Jamaica, our national dish is ackee and saltfish. So
Huh.
I just assume that other countries have national dish also,
Mm-hmm.
even though you're so big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very big. I would say it's regional.
Yeah, it's
It might be.
Yeah. What's a regional dish, Randy, that's famous?
Yeah, that your mom
Jiangsu.
cooks
mm,
often. What's the
Yeah.
local dish?
Local dish, yeah.
local dish. Oh, let me see.
For where you grew up.
Like lamb kebab. That's one of my
Lamb
favorites.
kebab. Okay, let's look at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that would be my favorite. Yeah.
With rice,
No, just the kebab.
just the kebab.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was asking you about the train also. That high-speed train, does it go through the cities?
I'm sorry.
The high-speed train, just
Mm,
flip back a little to the travel. Does it go through cities or both cities and suburbs going so fast?
Both. Both.
Both?
Yeah.
That's fast, going through a city.
It's fast. Sometimes I fall asleep, during the track. I told
Wow.
this is my destination. Yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
The high-speed trains are really neat. That was one of the things that left a really big impression on me when I visited there too.
Okay, these are the kebabs. Great.
Yeah.
Mhm. How about hot pot? Can we show hot pot? It's more northern food. It's very famous. Northern style. So good.
Yeah. So you have the base soup, and it's usually spicy and salty, but you can add different like meat and veggies. Depends on your flavors, depends what kind of food you like, into the boiling pot. So that's why it's called the hot pot. You also have different kind of dipping sauce, like garlic, uh, and some like I can't think. My mouth is watering right now, but sorry. Yeah, it's yeah, it's I would say it's typically like spicy kind of food, hot pot. It's quite popular in China, and it's very easy to make. It's very easy to make. All you gotta do is go to an Asian store here and find the mixture of the base soup, and buy items, lettuce, whatever you want, add to the soup. It goes well with almost anything. So that's the hot pot. Yeah,
It's a lot of fun to eat with others.
yeah.
So
Usually with
can you talk about how eating is? What is eating culture like in China? Do people eat by
culture?
themselves or together?
Usually together, as a as a family, or you would eat with your colleagues or friends, classmates.
Because one of the things I noticed is that everybody shares food. In America, when you order your food, you just eat what you have in front of you, but it's more
Yeah,
family style in China.
yeah. It's yeah, you will have different dishes on the table, and you can take whatever you want. You Yeah, definitely you share dishes. Um, in my family, we usually use spoons to share the food. The chopsticks. We use chopsticks, but it's more like your personal, you know, eating tools. Uh, yeah, and eating. One was a kid. One was back in China. So uh, my mom, my mom barely made any food because we had a nanny in our house. But my dad and my mom was super busy, so they just came home and we would eat together. A lot of times my dad wouldn't be there because either he's traveling some parts of the country or he's busy, eating with his business partners. A lot of times I had to call him like, "Hey, Dad, we will be back tonight for dinner? Can we start without you?" If he's coming back, let's say 6:30, we have to wait on him. We have to show the respect of the father figure in the family. We cannot start without him.
Yeah, thank you. We've got some more questions coming in. Ben, do you want to ask your question?
Hey, I have a question. So, how many Chinese letter at least you should know to read and speak fluently?
I think the most common ones around 100, no, 1,000 or 2,000. Uh, the Yeah, it's not really a lot. Think about it, it's really not compared to like English vocabulary. It's really not a lot. But I would say the difficult part is to put those letters together, put those characters together. You
Mhm.
have to combine them. You have to combine them. Uh, so yeah, I guess that's the most difficult part for me even. So when I was a kid, that's the hardest part I had to learn.
Wow.
So I would say around 2,000 characters would be good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
GUN also said maybe 3,000. Good question. Okay, we've got another question from Caitlin. Do you want to ask it or do you want me to ask it, Caitlin? Okay, I can ask Caitlin's question. So Caitlin wanted to know about ordering Chinese food. So in the
Mhm.
United States, we order Chinese food. Is this similar to authentic Chinese food or is it different in the US?
Well, there are some authentic Chinese restaurants in here, um, but if you speak of Panda Express or it's like Chipotle. It takes Chipotle as a real Mexican food. It's not real Mexican food. It's like American Mexican food. So my dad, when he first came to visit us years ago, my sister took him to a Panda Express, and after eating, he was like, "What kind of food was that?" So and or like people think that's the real Chinese food in America. It's like, no, no, that's not even like, it's not even close. So yes, I know some they're running restaurants here, Chinese restaurants, but their food have been pretty much Americanized. It's really sweeter and sour, it's really different than the real Chinese food. But there are some Chinese authentic Chinese food restaurants around.
Yeah, Randy, I don't know if you can type some into the chat. Maybe you could let people know if they want to try authentic Chinese food around. You can let us know. If you don't know, that's okay. But I would say Chinatown would have more authentic
Yeah,
Chinese food.
yeah. I mean, who would, yeah. I mean, who would go to Chinatown for like, not non-real
Mhm.
Chinese food? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. I know one in Milwaukee. Yeah, the food
Okay.
is great. It's great. It's very authentic Chinese. I can't remember the name right now. So
Yeah. So Caitlin said she'd love to go. So if you want to put that in the chat box, you can let us know. And then Doreen, you had another question about growing up in a communist country. Do you want to ask your question?
Okay. So growing up in a communist country, when
Mhm.
you came here, what was different?
The difference, I guess, the most difference is like how many people take their freedom, like freedom of speech, um, or the freedom to vote granted. They don't cherish the rights that much because uh, in China, generally speaking, like the government is way more powerful. They every time I try to get on board of a train or an airplane, so they had to verify my ID, which is common. But the thing I really don't like is they had to use a camera. They have to put a camera in front of me to recognize my face to make sure that's me. So in that way, they can track your traveling history everywhere you go. So that's the thing I really don't like. Um, uh, yes, and if you're interested in visiting my country, I would say I wouldn't recommend you to talk anything political. We all know you can say it's a dictatorship, it's a one-party system. Uh, you can say it here, but you will get into trouble if you say it publicly in China. So a lot of times I hear people, even my family, system, uh, but we don't do it. So that's the tricky part. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I mean, well, as long as you don't talk, you don't touch those sensitive areas, you'll be fine. I guess people are friendly. Even the Chinese government, they would leave you alone. I have some friends visiting China, even working in China and doing mission work in China. Uh, they're fine. They said the police officer never give them any hard time or any problems. So I said, if you ever get into trouble, just call me. I probably can help you out there. So yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, any other questions? It is 10:32, so if you need to leave, feel free to go. We want to respect your time, but if you'd like to stay and ask more questions, you can also stay a couple more minutes. But thank you again, Randy.
Oh, thanks.
Great job. And Jiyuan is also on the call, and he's in China right now. So
Yeah.
Jiyuan, if you want to say hi or share anything also about China, you can add something if you'd like. I don't know how your internet is doing. Jiyuan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Do you want to add
I
anything
don't have
or
anything to share.
you don't have anything? Do you want to welcome people to China? You could just invite them to come.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
So Jiyuan is also, yeah, in China. Okay, so I think Randy just sent the link for the food. Is that the one, Randy?
Yep.
Milwaukee? We have to send it to Caitlin. She already left. I'm going to copy it. Great. So we'll have to go to Milwaukee, but some of you may be closer to Milwaukee than Chinatown. So that's good.
I was just gonna send it to Caitlin. Are you doing that already?
I was going to chat it
Okay.
to her on Teams.
Cool.
Just send it out. Thank you. Caitlin. Yeah,
Okay.
she's,
Since nobody have a question, I have another question.
yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I read somewhere that there is a bookstore somewhere in China that look like it comes out of the Harry Potter movie. Are you aware of that?
No.
Yeah, I was
bookstore?
wondering if maybe you've been there. They say it's like out of the Harry Potter movie. It's so old and
Oh,
different.
different.
Mhm.
There are many bookstores in China.
The Harry Potter Cafe. It looks like it's in Shanghai.
Maybe,
you
yeah,
look
it
it
sounds
up?
like in Shanghai.
I'm Googling it. So no, but Doreen, that's a really good question because the cafes in China are very unique, and you'll find this too is true for Korea as well. But there was one I went to that was like Friends. It's like the Friends Cafe.
Really?
Yeah, so they have them throughout China, and you go in there, and it's like you're in the Central Park, you know. So
So they have themes.
themed cafes, and the Friends theme I think is actual global because when I was in Denmark, I saw it there too. So there's somebody who has a chain of these, you know. So
Mhm.
somebody's probably doing the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You'd
theme
find
too.
McDonald's and KFC's like American franchise in China as well,
Mhm.
but the food would be very different. The food would be very different. Yeah.
Yeah. What is on the typical menu at KFC in China?
Like fried chicken, hamburgers, fries.
What are the Chinese items that are on it that are a little different?
Oh, we got rice.
Rice. You can order rice.
Or soybean
Rice.
milk. Or soybean milk for breakfast.
Soybean milk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And youtiao, like the
Yes.
fried dough at McDonald's.
Right.
And
That's good too.
danta, the like egg
Oh,
tarts for breakfast. You can get those at KFC. So I went to KFC for breakfast a lot, which I've never done in the US.
yeah.
It's interesting to see how American brands change in different countries and what food items they have.
Would you say they're better? Like the
In
KFC?
China?
Yeah.
I mean, I never went to KFC in the US except to get popcorn chicken. So I'm a big fan of KFC in China for their egg tarts. But
Yeah.
that's not something I would buy in America at KFC. So I don't. So I liked KFC in China.
Yeah, I like them too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
I have another
today?
question.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Doreen.
So I used to work in Uptown Chinatown in Rogers Park, although it have more Vietnamese than Chinese, but Chinese were there too. So they would have the New Year celebration,
Mhm.
and you'll hear about the year of the dog, the year of the monkey, and all of that.
Yeah.
How does those come about? How does those, what's the origination of those symbols?
Okay. Yeah. There are 12 animals. Starts from let me find you a picture. That'll be much easier. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Lindsay, can I share my screen again?
Yeah, you should be able to. You're
Okay.
still the co-host, so you can just go to the bottom. You'll see the green share screen button.
Yep.
You got it.
So that's the, okay, trying to find a better picture here.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the 12 animals. Like in the traditional Chinese thinking, it's like 12 years as a cycle. So it starts with a mouse and cow, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake. But dragon is not a real animal, but yeah. Anyway, it's all the way to the pig. So I was born in 1995. So my birth year was a pig year. So my animal would be pig. Yeah. I don't even know what year. So I think this year might be wait, hold on. The year of mouse for
Oh,
2020. Yeah.
okay.
Because I was 24 last year, which is 2 cycles. So, right. So 25, you add one more year, that's the year of mouse. Yeah.
Can I add something? There was also something, Doreen, that I heard recently is that it's a good way to figure out someone's age. It's like a nice way of
Yeah.
saying like how old are you? Because if you share what year you were born, they can usually guess within 12 years which of the,
Yeah.
which decade you're in
Yeah.
based on your age. So that's also like a way to kind of figure out like where the respect is and how to address somebody. So I don't know if Randy, you think of that. I don't know if you've thought about it like that, but
Yeah. My oldest cousin is like 12 years older than me. So his animal is a pig too. So
Thank you.
no problem.
sure. And Doreen, one thing I would say, I know you haven't gone to China yet, but we do have Chinese language at CLC. So if you're interested in studying language, even before you go, you could take Chinese 121 and learn some Chinese before you head out. So
All right.
yeah. So anyone who wants to learn Chinese language, we do have that program at CLC if you're curious to learn more.
And Juan already taught us 3 words
Yes.
that I
Steph,
wrote
do you
down.
want to try? Do you want to try?
Where's my little sticky?
Mhm.
The I don't know one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Wait,
practice.
oh, here it is. Ting Budong?
Yep. That's right. Tim Budong.
No.
You got it, Steph.
Mei Gu Ren.
Yep. Yep.
And then what was the other one?
Ni hao.
Oh, the
Yeah. The greeting.
greeting.
Yeah. So yeah, you got them all.
Maybe you want to show it again, please.
Sure, I can go back.
You can practice. Look at this Chinese language learning happening.
All right. So
老师
老师 literally means
you are the
teacher.
老师.
Okay. Yeah. It means teacher. 老师. Yeah. So the first one will be 你好, which is hello. 你好. 你 means you. 好 means well or good. So 你好 means you well. And
You have the slide that we could open up and look at.
yeah. Should I share my screen again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought I was sharing, but yeah, I had to stop
We had to
sharing.
switch. We had to switch from Google back to this. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second one will be 美国人. That's 3 characters. Yeah. 美 is like the abbreviation of America. 美. 国 means country. So 人 means people. But saying you are an American. So 美国人. The third one would be 听不懂. Yeah, if you have to pick up one, like this is the one, you want to go with 听不懂, which means you don't understand, you need help. Yeah. 听不懂. Yeah. Yeah. What are some like common phrases you want to learn in Chinese?
How about I'm hungry?
Okay. You know this one, Lindsay? It's a task
Yeah.
for you.
Mhm.
Yeah. How do you say it?
So first we have to start with I.
Yep.
我
What?
我
Mhm.
and then ugh.
Yep.
It's kind of like in English, we say something, it's like gross. We go ugh,
Yep.
but it means you're hungry.
Yep.
我饿了
Hmm.
and you add a l at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but you do.
Don't ask me. I didn't invent the language.
I know, I don't know why either, but
Say.
I'm hungry. 3 characters.
I only remember
Blah, blah.
4.
Yeah,
Su.
yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
good job, Kali.
It was the only number I knew when I was in the Hong Kong airport, and I'm like, 4?
4. Where am I going?
Su.
Yeah. Yeah. The way
Oh.
we say numbers is kind of different. It's, let's say we want to say 43. We don't say 43. We say 410-3. So that's how we say in Chinese, like 22, 210-2. That's how we say it in Chinese. Yeah.
Okay, Doreen had a question about writing her name. Could you write her name in Chinese?
Ring.
Do,
Okay.
do, do, r, e, e.
Doreen.
Doreen. Doreen. Doreen. I sound like, it sounds like Korean
Japanese.
when I'm saying it. It doesn't sound Chinese.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Well, stop sharing.
Do, Doreen. Doreen. Maybe. This is kind of interesting, actually, to take the sounds and try to put them into characters.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, come out with like a, female name.
Yeah, Doreen, do you
Yeah.
want us to translate it by the sound or just find you a
That's-
Chinese name?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. How about this one? Okay. It sounds like Doreen, but you say Dong.
I took a picture of it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. How do I say 563? Okay, you said 500 first, right? So 5,563. Okay, 563. Yeah. Yep. That's 500.
You and you got it.
That's cool.
6, 10, and 3. Okay, that's how I say it.
That's cool. Yeah.
610. No, it'll be 610. Yeah, that's type.
Like, I think Chinese it's almost like building blocks. Once you know one character, you add other characters to it, and then you make new words or you
Wow.
make new numbers. So it is actually very simple once you've learned the characters. There are a lot, but once you've figured them out, you can start moving them around to make new words.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what was the most challenging part for you, Lindsay, when you try to learn Chinese? You said that you were, you had a hard time. You were crying almost every day because you couldn't.
Yeah, every day. So hard because I couldn't express myself. So the hardest part is when you're in a foreign country and you can't speak the language of the people around you and you can't communicate. So you're very frustrated. And that happens a lot when you travel and you can't communicate basic things. So for me in China, when I wasn't allowed to use English to communicate was very challenging because my vocabulary was very limited. So most of our international students have that same experience when they come to America. Their English is very limited. So it's very hard and it takes a lot of effort to communicate ideas.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a slow process, but once you start to get the building blocks, you can start conversing with people and then you have less pressure. But the hardest thing when I first started learning was the tones. Do you want to talk about how there's 4 tones for everything you say?
Okay, yeah. Okay, there are 4 tones in Chinese. Like E, 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 E. So that's the 4 tones. Be careful with the tones because if you say wrong, it probably means nothing or completely different thing. So that's the problem with my American friends. I was trying to teach them Chinese. Sometimes they pronounce differently. So I would just say, can you spell that? Can you write it down for me? So because it was be really hard for me to understand. I, I had to try like different tones myself to figure out like what they were saying. Okay, yeah. So then I'll tell them like what's the correct pronunciation, which one you should read this with. So yeah, the tones are hard. Um, mm, like the same word, 睡觉, like you would spell them like the same, but if you say 水饺, which means dumplings, that is very different from sleeping. That's the one example I can think of right now. Yeah, I mean, which is okay. Like when I came to America, I probably have shared this with you, Lindsay. Like I saw those like garage sale signs on the side of the road. I was like, I know like garage sale, like what it means, but I understood I try to put the words together, two words together. I was like, why so many Americans try to sell in garages? You know, Illinois was a snow heavy state. So, but yeah, it's you're supposed to like understand like a phrase. It's not sell their garages. It's like sell in the garages. That's the way I made a lot of stupid mistakes as well. So that's okay. As long as you can get people understand you, that's fine.
Yeah, the literal meaning of things isn't always the same. So
Yeah.
I had those same challenges when I was learning Chinese. Yeah. So thank you so much. We're coming up on an hour here. So thank you for hosting us for an hour. Do we have any other questions? We're like all internationals people here, actually. We've got 2 students with us. Ben's still with us.
Yeah.
Is he though? Is
Ben, are
he?
you really there?
Hi, Juan.
I'm here.
He's here.
Hi, Ben.
Jiyuan, do you want to share anything? I think you said no before, but you've been sharing some numbers in the chat, so thank you
I
for
don't know
helping.
what to share.
You could share anything about China if you want.
What's the weather like where you are right now?
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah, like,
let's see.
and what time is it? Is it like 10:51 p.m.?
I guess it would be
I'm
like
sorry.
11.
Pardon, please. I didn't hear you.
What's the weather like and what time is it there?
What time is it?
Mhm.
12:51.
Okay.
Wow. You
We're in
guys
Central
are-
12.
1 Celsius.
In Fahrenheit.
I don't
1
really
Celsius,
know.
34.
40.
Ooh, it's cold.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
30
guessing.
something. Yeah.
30
Yeah, it's
something.
cold. True.
So what city are you in then? Are you in Beijing?
Nah, that's big city.
What
No.
city are you in?
Langzhou.
Guangzhou?
Oh, yeah, I can type it.
Andro, yeah. You're out west.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On our map.
Yeah. So right now we have what 13 hours difference between China and America. If you fly from America to China, you lose 13 hours. But if you come back from China to America, you gain like 13 hours. You literally go back to in time. So let's say the flight is only 12 hours, 11 hours, 30 minutes. Then technically you would be like 30 minutes or 1 hour younger. So
Mhm. I call it time
Really?
traveling.
yeah, time traveling, literally, yeah.
Mhm. Oh, but it's those long flights though. Ooh.
Yeah,
I actually had a dream last night of being on a 14-hour flight. That was what my dream was.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's been times where you're just like, I don't think I'm gonna
Well,
make it.
Yeah, just want to stretch out, Yeah, 14 hours, 13 hours in a small space is not very enjoyable, but yeah.
Mm-mm. Like being quarantined inside a house is still a lot better than being quarantined in an airplane.
Right, right.